Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at assessment reports and how the data-driven button works. After you've watched this video, I'd like you to log into the same place that I'm going to log into right now, which is called Sampleteacher. All one word. Password 1234. This is an account that has fake student data in here, so you can come into this regular class. There's only one class. And you can open up this and explore the terms and the skill builders and the different types of reports. So I'm going to give you a brief overview, and then I'd like you to come in and sign into this and practice the different reports and get comfortable with them. This is a long list. I'm going to scroll all the way down to accentuate the negative, and we're going to take a look at that assignment. So I'm going to click on reports. And the default is the item master report, which we have already looked at in other videos. As you can see from this list, there's several other reports. I'm not going to tour through them in detail, or this would be an hour-long video. I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the reports, and then I'd like you to go sign into Sampleteacher password 1234 and explore the reports also. Little review. If you have more than one class, here's where you'd select your class. More than one section, here's where you'd select your section. And if you'd like to look at more than one assignment, here's all the things that you've assigned and you can select from. You can print the assignment, you can download this report, you can download the report with response time information. We can graph this problem average, which is nice because you can go right to the one that's got the most troubles, take a look at it, talk about it in class, review it, talk about maybe what the students did wrong. I really like graph student average because it gives you the student averages from least to greatest. I use this the most when I'm differentiating group work. This group probably needs a reteaching of the lesson. The students in the middle probably just need a little more practice with some guidance. And my students up here are ready for some challenge work as the rest of them are working on mastering the skill. Coming down here to this bar graph, we have what we call our skill meter. And these are our Common Core standards. And this is how the students performed on these assessments that are tagged with these particular standards. So how this happened is when the author created this problem set, they tagged each problem with a particular skill, and once students complete the data, it produces this nice bar graph. So you would be like division of whole numbers, 62%. By now I think my students should have mastered that. You'd probably open these problems to see what's involved. Maybe there's something in the problem that just created a misunderstanding. Certainly you're going to then go down to the problem set and look at which students really struggled with that particular skill, since the assessment numbers are right here. So 12309 is right here. So I can go across here until I find that one and find my students who are struggling with division of whole numbers and check with them about that. And as I can see, there's a negative in this, so perhaps that's what confused them, is there's integers, positive and negative integers. A review of the report. We have the student, average for the whole class, average for each particular assessment in this problem set, help requested. So no help was requested here, but on this one 11% of them asked for help. Anonymize means we can make the names disappear. If we want to just see one name, we can click on just one name. If you're working alone, you'd probably look at all the names, but displayed in the class, you would want to anonymize. Coming across here, we're going to look at the ones that have some common mistakes. So 54% achievement on this one. I'd probably take a look at this one to see what the problem is with it. And down here, 25% of the students who got this incorrect answered -45. And here's a feedback response. Add an incorrect message. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You could put a feedback response by clicking on that. So the next group that does this assignment, if they answered -45 incorrectly, this feedback answer would come back at them. So you type in some type of a hint or a reminder of the rule to help the student self-correct from making that common wrong answer. And scrolling down, a little reminder of these particular things. The student got 43%, but this half circle means that they did not complete the assignment. And as you look across here, you can see that. And all of our student percents. So we would be looking to see who needs a little differentiation, who's really struggling, Perhaps on this one, it's half the class that got it right, a little more than half. So perhaps I'm going to want to give a little more practice in this particular type of skill, or a review lesson in this particular type of skill, to just the other half, not the 54%, but the other half of the class that got it wrong, and see if they can improve their score on a particular assignment. So that's what this data-driven button is, right below the assessment. I'm hovering over the assessment, but if you come down below it, there's another button you can click on. You'll notice there's a data-driven for the whole assignment. So if the whole class scored a low amount, you might want to reassign it or assign another one similar to it, and that's when you'd click on the data-driven for the whole class. On this particular one, I am going to assign more practice for the 46% that didn't do so well on this, and the other 54%, maybe I'm going to give them something else to do. So this is how you would do this. You'd click on the data-driven button, and these are sort fields. This is all based on that particular assignment and that group of students, and you can see that information right up here. And it says you just read through and choose the selections to get what you want generated. So it says, I want to include the following students: include students who did not finish the assignment, include students who did not start the assignment. Based upon the problem, I want to include the following students: students who answered incorrectly or not at all. I want to release it 0, which means today, and it'll be due tomorrow. Come down here and it says you do not want this assignment to be placed in the R's. R's is something that we will be talking about in another video. The reason for this assignment, for this problem, this is a note for myself, and I'm just going to say need more practice. And then down here, we can show a message to the students who this is assigned to. Enter what you want for the message to be. Perhaps I'm going to say more practice in lab period 7. And then when you come down here is where you have to already have a selected assignment, or you have to look something up. I already have one selected, and I am going to put in 5472, which is another accentuate the negative, but it is a prior lesson for practicing some of the foundation skills. Down here, I can send a parent message. Yes, send a message, or no, I don't. If I say yes and I type something in and it's students who need more practice, I might say something like, could you help your child with this assignment tonight? They needed more practice on it. We worked on this today. Ask your student to review it with you. Something positive. I can also use this data-driven button to provide an enrichment assignment. So in that case, I might send a message to the parent that says, this is an extra enrichment assignment. Your student's doing very well with this particular topic, whatever it might be. Then we have assigned to regular class. No folder selected, but you could make those things, and you would click assign. And there's the list of students that have been given this particular assignment. If I go back to my Assess tab and I open my class, and you notice I did not put that into a term, but I could have. Here it is right here, 202, accentuate the negative, problem set 5472. And if I couldn't remember who's doing it, I can click it here and I could get that specific list. So remember, this is the 46% that got that one particular assessment wrong. And that's the data-driven button. So let's go back and look at reports again a little bit, and then I want you to sign on to Sampleteacher, password 1234, and go through and look at these different reports. We're going to look at just the assignment report for a minute. The assignment report I really like. Again, we can select by class, section, and so on. I like this one because I can see all of the assignments for the year, and there's this wonderful button called Delete Progress Mode. When you click on that, this added little button gets put in here. And the way I've used this is sometimes I have deleted the whole assignment for all the students, so I would select this and delete the whole thing. But sometimes some students feel really frustrated. They couldn't get last night's homework. They come to class today. Let's say they get them all wrong and they're feeling really frustrated. And then in class they ask good questions, or they stay after school and you tutor them, and now they're feeling better about it. I often will say, would you like to try that assignment again? And the student says, please. And so I will come here. I will find the student. I'll find who it is. I'll have the names obviously exposed. And then I will come across and find the assignment, and I will click on that person, whoever it is across here, and I will click on delete assignment, and it will set it back to 0 like the student has never done that homework and give them another chance to do it. So that's the one place for me that this particular report has really worked. You can also just select one student and then download a PDF report on that one student to see the work that they did or did not do. So let's try that. You can select a couple of different students, so we could download this. And there's a report on that particular student, and it's a nice little report. If you have a student who's struggling and the parent's like asking for explanations, you could print this report for a conference and say, well, here's the average in the class, here's how your student's doing. Your student, has not done some things, has missed some assignments, is struggling with all of the assignments, and not necessarily thinking of these as grades as much as data averages on achievement and how the student is doing in the work as data feedback. So that is our assignment report. We also have proficiency, essay grading, unfinished, book homework, and assignment completion by date. I'd like you to sign into Sampleteacher and go explore those other ones. Try clicking on these different things. Remember, these reports are pretend students, so you can go ahead and click on all these and explore everything to see what the reports do. Sampleteacher, password 1234.